Hey guys, today we're talking briefly about part 3 of The Creature from the Pit. And I don't really have a lot to say about this one because the story is kind of just rolling into one at this point. A couple things I liked, a couple things I didn't. I liked seeing more of the actress playing the queen, whose name I can never remember. I like her. Something about the way she talks and the way she moves and her body language is just it's just enticing. I just love watching her when she's on screen. I like how commanding she is. You can tell she's very used to getting her way. And how I like finding out more about how she controls all of the metal on the planet. That's where she gets all of her power from. Because not a lot of metal there. It's very scarce. So I like that that's where she gets her power from. So naturally it's in her best interest to maintain that there's not a lot of metal there on the planet. I enjoy that. Excuse me. I love the scene when they're trying to bust through that little eggshell guarding the entrance and K9 tries to blast through it. Nobody can get through it. And right as they're sitting there talking about what to do, Tom just busts through from the other end. Because I wasn't expecting that. And he just suddenly pops right through like it's nothing and just starts chatting with them. That amused me, I will admit. And I like how the kind of showman guy, the seer or whatever he is, how he keeps trying to slide away quietly, and the queen's not having any of it. She keeps catching him when he tries to get away. She's smart, too. I like when she's telling him to keep pointing K9's nose toward the rock. Keep pointing the dog toward the rock. I like how nothing's really getting by her. I enjoyed that. Yeah, this is the episode that had the really rough scene between Tom and the creature. Which I've seen that pictures of and that little clip of before, but that whole scene had some awkward moments. Like when he's first talking to it and he's like, "Oh, you have green skin, such nice green skin." And I'm like, is he hitting on it? This is a little weird. And then he's like, "Oh, you're just a nice little girl." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's creepy." Or a little boy, creepier, creepier. And then there's a little bit before he does the other thing. When he's actually talking to it, like trying to figure out how it communicates, it's actually some pretty good acting on Tom's part, considering what he's acting against is just this blob thing. I think his acting there is actually pretty well done. Of course, then he does the thing where he tries to communicate with it, and that's one of those things where I don't see how that got past so many people to getting filmed, and no one was like, you know, I don't. And if that's what a lot of people base their opinion of this episode on, or this story on, fair enough. I get it. I can see where that would be the thing that sticks in your head and makes you think of Creature from the Pit going, But, I really enjoyed the first two episodes. This one was kind of more, like I said, it's very vague in my mind. Like I said, I had a couple other points I was going to talk about, and they've already slipped out of my mind just since I started filming. Not much in this one, really. The story progresses. I like the little thing the queen had hanging up as an ornament and how it starts flashing. It's obviously connected to the creature somehow, and how it starts getting all the little lights going on it. I'm still trying to figure out what that does. I know right at the cliffhanger they were like attaching it to the creature. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with that since I've never seen episode 4 before. This is the first time I'm watching the story. Curious to see what that's all about. The bandits I don't really much care for, especially the guy playing the lead bandit. His acting the whole story has not impressed me. I'm listening to him talk and I'm just like, he doesn't impress me. The bandits in the story have really been what's been dragging it down for me. Other than really getting to let Romana show off in the first episode, I haven't really cared for them much. And I'm not sure if when that thing turned on, did it hypnotize the two bandits to carry it into the creature? I'm not quite sure. I get that impression, but I'm not quite sure. So episode 3 has been my least favorite so far, and the one I don't really have a lot of thoughts on. But I am looking forward to moving on to episode 4. So that's my thoughts on episode 3. Again, not much there. Just a couple things I liked, a couple things I didn't. I'm looking forward to finding out more between the connection between the queen and the creature, because obviously she knows what it is. I'm guessing she's from off-world, so I'm looking forward to finding out what all is behind all of that. So, my thoughts on that. Other things to do, I have links to my Patreon down in the description if you want to help me out that way. I also have my P.O. box down in the description if there's anything you would like to send to me. And a link to my Amazon wish list is down there as well. I want to give a special shout out to two of my top tier patrons, the Fifth Doctor and Stephen Crane. I very much appreciate their continued support. Most importantly though, thank you for watching.